Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Andrew with AP Collectibles, and we have an unboxing video today featuring the Morpeko V-Union Special Collection. This is a huge box. It's not nearly as big as it needs to be given the contents, so it's quite large. It takes up my whole playmat here. But what we're looking at here, obviously the star of the show is Morpeko. We've got the 4 promo cards that make up the single Morpeko V-Union, one oversized card featuring that V-Union. It says we get a helpful supporter card featuring Professor Burnett. We will be the judge of how helpful that is. We get 4 booster packs and a code card for the trading card game live. So we can see here through the front of the box that the 4 normal sized cards are front and center, assembled in the V-Union. We've got the oversized card here, and then if you peek in there with me, we've got 2 Brilliant Stars and 2 Fusion Strike boosters. So let's pop this open. Let's talk a little about Morpeko, and then we've got 4 packs to crack. Now, Morpeko is not the only V-Union that we have seen before. There is a Pikachu, there is a Greninja, there is a Mewtwo, and I'm sure we will see some more. I think it's a really cool concept. I like that they've done it, and we've seen this before with the Legends cards back in the day. How do we get to these? There we go. Where you have to, assemble the pieces before you have a playable in-game Pokemon. So let's talk about this as I fight with the packaging. Here we go. Now there are a whole special set of rules that go around these V-Union cards because, as you can see, taking them out of the packaging there, these are 4 separate cards. So we'll break this down in a second, but to talk about what the V-Union does once it's assembled, let's pull out the oversized card here. Once you've assembled it, whether you choose to use the small pieces that are lined up or you choose to pull this out, once you've got it assembled, we can see that it's got all the parts of a normal Pokemon. HP, top right, weakness, resistance, retreat cost. It has the V-Union rule, which says that if a V-Union is knocked out, your opponent gets 3 prizes, which is a lot. And each quadrant of the V-Union has a unique attack. So Morpeko V-Union has 4 attacks. There are no Pokemon Powers abilities that we see on here. Some of the other V-Unions do have abilities. Morpeko is not one of those. Every V-Union, so far as I've seen, has this first attack as Union Gain. It is 1 colorless, it does no damage, but it allows you to attach 2 electric energy cards from your discard pile to this Pokemon. The Union Gain that Greninja has, for example, does the exact same thing, but it pulls water energies, which, if you look at Morpeko's attacks, the 1 it costs to do the attack, and the 2 that it gets is enough to fully power this. So if you've got energy in your discard pile, you can power up. Second attack here for 2 colorless, all you can eat. Draw cards until you have 10 in your hand, which is pretty strong, and we're going to come back to that. Third one down here, bottom left, Burst Wheel does 100 damage times. If you discard all the energy, well, it says you must discard all the energy from this Pokemon, this attack does 100 damage for each energy card you discarded this way. So this is the big damage that Morpeko is going to do. Minimum, we're talking about 300 damage because this is 3 energy to use. In the event of a double colorless energy, it does say for each energy card you discard. So if this is powered up with an electric energy and a double colorless energy, Burst Wheel will hit for 200. But because it says discard all, you can just pile energy underneath Morpeko V-Union and hit for a ton of damage. 100 damage per energy, which is pretty hefty. And then the final attack down here in the bottom right quadrant above the retreat cost, we see Electric Ball, same energy cost as Burst Wheel, but it does a cool 160. So if Morpeko's on the way out, or you just need a big KO, Burst Wheel is your finishing attack. Electric Ball is really your offensive bread and butter here. Two things I do want to point out about this move set, if you will. All you can eat is a double colorless energy cost. So if your deck runs double colorless energies, all you can eat on the turn that Morpeko V Union is assembled and brought into play allows you to draw up to 10 cards. And then that double colorless energy, my second point, with Morpeko V Union, does translate to all of the attacks here. So you can fully energize Morpeko V Union with an electric energy and a double colorless energy, which is definitely possible to do the first turn that you assemble the V Union. Your double colorless energy can be your attach from hand, and there's any number of ways to get energy out of your discard pile and attached to Pokemon. We can look at the new Spark, the supporter that came out with the Pokemon Go set. We look at, there's a few, Electros comes to mind, that have the ability, Dynamotor, that can pull electric energies out and attach to them to benched Pokemon of yours. So it is definitely possible to assemble and fully energize the Morpeko V Union in one turn, in big part to this double colorless energy cost in all of the attacks. Speaking of assembling it, how do you assemble the Morpeko V Union? Well, we know that there are 4 cards in here, and you would sleeve these up in your deck like normal. Oh, these are kind of beat up from the plastic blister packaging. So you would sleeve these up as normal in your deck. If you notice, no matter which quadrant of the assembled V Union you have a set number, a promo symbol, artist credit, and you have an electric symbol on here. And that is included there on all of these cards to remind us that this is an electric type Pokemon. You can see the card name there. This is an electric type Pokemon card. So you could search for a single one of these with Quick Ball. You could search 3 of them out with Daycare Center. You know, any cards that interact with Pokemon, or electric Pokemon specifically, can interact with these cards. So it's not the hardest to pull them out of your deck and into your hand, or in the case of assembling these, out of your deck or from your hand into your discard pile. Once per turn, per V Union Pokemon, you can pull all 4 pieces out of your discard pile and assemble that Pokemon on your bench. I specify per Pokemon because it is possible to have Morpeko V Union and Pikachu V Union in the same deck. You would not be able to assemble either more than once, but you could assemble the Morpeko from your discard pile one time and then the Pikachu from your discard pile one time. So you have to build around it because you need to get these into your discard pile and then out of your discard pile. One really big drawback to this is that if you prize one of these 4 cards, you've really got to work to get it to assemble it. And if you don't have a way to cycle through your prizes, you might not get to it. Now, this special collection also comes with a Professor Burnett supporter card. Professor Burnett is a character from the Pokemon universe that debuted in a spin-off game, so not the most popular Professor. I couldn't even tell you which game she is originally from, but we see here that this is a promo rarity. To my knowledge, Professor Burnett comes in these V Union boxes exclusively, and it does allow you to search your deck for up to 2 cards and discard them, and then shuffle your deck. So in Standard, this is your quote-unquote easy way to search these pieces out of your deck and get them into your discard pile. Is Professor Burnett a good card? Outside of the V Union, probably not. Even with the V Union, I really do think there are better options. If you're looking at Standard exclusively right now, Quick Ball does a really good job of pitching a card you don't want to get a card that you do. So if you're holding multiple Quick Balls, you could cycle through ditching pieces of Morpeko to find pieces of Morpeko to ditch and, and continue the cycle from there. Professor's Research is also legal. So if you've got a way to search these Pokemon from your deck into your hand, which we know there are a myriad of ways to do that, and then you can discard all or most of them to a Professor's Research that will not only bin these for you, but allow your hand to refill, I think that's a little bit more efficient than the Professor Burnett. Would I play Professor Burnett in a V-Union deck? I think only as a one-of. Only as a one-of. If you look outside of Standard, if you look into Expanded, there are tons of ways to get V-Union pieces into your discard way more efficiently than Professor Burnett. So you burn your supporter play for the turn. You can't play this on your first turn if you go first. So trying to accelerate into this assembly gets a little bit harder. So yeah, I would play it in Standard as a one-of, and that would really be it. That'd really be it. In Expanded, which I think the V-Unions will maybe find their home, you have way better options. Way better options. So there you go. That's my take on Morpeko V-Union. It's not as aggressive as the Greninja V-Union or the Mewtwo that we've seen. Not quite as gimmicky as the Pikachu. But we've got a well-rounded card here. A lot of utility, especially for double colorless, that allows you to fill your hand. It can hit really hard. And, I mean, 160 is enough to two-hit KO a good portion of the competitive field right now, which, I mean, not everything, but not bad. I mean, it KOs in the mirror, it KOs itself, which is always a good measure. So there we go. Let's put that off to the side. And then, still in the blister packaging here, we've got 4 packs. A little bit of bonus here. 2 Brilliant Stars and 2 Fusion Strike. So let's see if we get lucky here with some pulls. Maybe something to complement Morpeko. Let's see. Let's go with the Fusion Strike first. So 4 packs. And this is the full content of the box here. We've got our code card, the 4 pieces of your playable Morpeko Vs, the oversized card, and that promo Professor Burnett. So here we go. Fusion Strike. We've got a Snom, Onyx, Jigglypuff. Look at that artwork. So good. Anytime Jigglypuff is seen like as a ball, or any of these round Pokemon are, yeah, I love it. Jigglypuff. Durant, Pansear, what should be our reverse foil. We have an Onyx, so there we go. We've got a foil and a reverse foil in the same pack, which is always fun. And our rare, a Virizion non-foil. This is a standard printing Virizion. 110 HP. For a single grass energy, the first attack says bail out. Put up to 2 Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. Interesting. So we're talking about interactions with the Morpeko or the V-Union cards in general, and what we have here is a pseudo interaction. I mean, you don't want to pull the V-Union pieces out, but there could be some. I guess it's a non-bow, but you know, some interaction there. Fighting energy to complement our Onyx duo there. A Rapid Strike Lapras in the uncommon spot. Rapid Strike Hawlucha and Schoolboy. I like the Schoolboy and Schoolgirl cards. Schoolboy says draw 2. If your opponent has exactly 1, 3, or 5 prize cards remaining, you can draw 2 more. The Schoolgirl does the exact same thing, but if your opponent has exactly 2, 4, or 6, so a copy or 2 of each in your deck with a way to search them out when you need them, you have a slightly better hop. So, not too bad. And our code card. All right, second Fusion Strike pack here. Let's hope for a little more than a reverse foil Onyx and a Virizion. Let's see what we get. We got a Smeargle, Carvana, Fusion Strike Clamperl, a Morpeko. Look at that. 80 HP for 1 electric and 1 other targeted spark. Does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. It's not great. I mean, if this attack costs 1 energy, it'd be pretty solid. It's got a retreat cost of 1, so not a whole lot of utility here from the Morpeko. Single strike Skarmory. Reverse foil slot is a trainer, Sydney. Your opponent reveals their hand. Discard up to 2 in any combination of Pokemon Tool, Special Energy cards, or Stadium cards. So pretty solid tech here. I would put it as a singleton, a single copy in a good number of decks, and always like to have a reverse foil, especially for those one-off cards. Rare is a Rapid Strike Kangaskhan, so kind of striking out here on the Fusion Strike packs. Water Energy, followed by a Ninetales. I really like this Ninetales. The ability by way of the Nine-Tailed Fox says the retreat cost of each of your Pokemon that has any fire energy attached to it is 2 less. Now, what's important with this one is that it just needs the fire energy. It doesn't need to be a fire Pokemon. So even if you're playing a deck with multiple types, if you slap a fire energy on it, it's like it's like a float stone or a skateboard or, you know, whichever tool you'd like. I can't say enough about 0 retreat costs, and 2 less is enough to make most Pokemon either 0 or close to 0. So I really like this Ninetales, especially in the uncommon spot. Farewell Bell. It's a tool. If the Pokemon VMAX's card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an attack of your opponent's Pokemon, search your deck for a card and put it into your hand. So if you're playing VMAX and they get knocked out, you get a free search. Followed by a Rapid Strike Lopunny and a code card. All right. Not a whole lot of action from the Fusion Strike packs. Let's hope these two are a little more brilliant. We'll go with Arceus first and close out with the Charizard, if we can ever get these open. There we go. All right, Riolu, Burmy. Kind of cool that we get all 3 varietals here on this card. I do kudos to the artist here for including all the Burmies. Staryu, Carablast, Clefairy, and a reverse foil Fracture, followed by a Grimmsnarl, 160 HP, long hair shot, does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each darkness energy attached to this Pokemon. So second attack requires 2 energy for 110. So in theory, long hair shot hits for 60 or 90 or 120 if you need it to. But fully energized long haired shot will hit for 60, which as a snipe is not bad. And it doesn't say benched, it just says one of your Pokemon. So it can still hit the active, although I'm not sure why you'd want to when you can do more for less energy. Fighting Energy, Luxio, Pot Helmet. If this Pokemon card is attached to, doesn't have a rule box. So if it's not a V, a GX, oh, it even says that in the reminder there. It takes 30 less damage from your opponent's Pokemon. Not bad. And a Sigilif, maybe the strangest Pokemon in the game, if you ask me. And code card. All right, not a whole lot of action coming out of these packs, but maybe Charizard can save the day, like he is wont to do. All right, we've got a Corphish, a Magmar, and I think I've raved in a video about the artwork on this Magmar. So cool. Spiritomb, another Burmy, one of those Burmies I love. And Impidimp, I have teased our reverse foil here, which is another trainer, a supporter even. We have Charon's Care. Put one of your normal type, one of your colorless Pokemon that has any damage counters on it and all attached cards into your hand. Wow, that is a pretty solid card. All cards attached to it also includes evolutionary stages up to it. So this card played on a normal type stage 2 would return the entire evolutionary line, enter any energies that may be attached to it, and any tools that may be attached to it. So pretty cool. And we've got a Haxorus in the rare spot. 1 energy, 60 damage with Slash. 2 energies, 160 with Wild Axe. It does 32 itself. And we've got a very underwhelming dragon type. Grass Energy, followed by a Starmie, a Weevil, and a Dusclops. So, 4 packs, Morpeko V Union. Not a whole lot of action coming out of those packs, but again, the star of the show here is the Morpeko V Union. This is not a box that is really going to get you a whole lot of value unless you're really pulling something out of the packs that come with it. At last check on TCGPlayer, I think the 4 of, like, this complete set of all 4 pieces of the Morpeko V Union was about $1 or even less. The Professor Burnett card, even though it is a promo that is exclusive to these collections, as far as I know, it's worth $0.25 or less. So you're really not getting a whole lot of value from the feature in this box. I didn't check on what the oversized card goes for, but you're not getting a whole lot of value out of the feature, and you're really relying on the pulls from the 4 packs that come with it. If you're a big Morpeko fan, I mean, by all means, go for it. I think the V Unions are a really cool mechanic, but again, not the most bang for your buck when you look at some of the other products that are out there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to hear more about your opinions on the V Union. Love them, like them, hate them. Maybe we'll see some more. All right, thanks for joining me. Again, this is Andrew with AP Collectibles, and I will see you next time.